Hi everyone. I thought I'd try doing this standing up for once. So you've set up your account, you've become an investor in the stock market, your account's growing. If you haven't started yet, I do recommend that you start with an ETF. This is the Vanguard ESG ETF. The stock symbol is ESGV. That's going to give you a really good growth. They're in the new generation of companies. They're not anything else. So the first $1,000 that you do, let's just call it $100 a month. You're not going to jump in both feet. So what you want to do is $100 a month. Just keep buying that ETF. Once you get to $2,000, you might have a little bit of cash on the side. You might not. In any case, at that point, you get to maybe look into a stock. I want to see what we're going to do today is talk about how you get to a $10,000 portfolio and how that should be set up. So for a $10,000 portfolio, I'm looking down at my screen, different setup. You're still a new investor, so we're going to do things a little bit differently, not what anyone else has come up with. We're going to do 30% in a top performing company. We're going to do 20%, that's half your money, in the second top performing company. We're going to do 10% in a company that's unique, that's different, that's something new to you, that you like it. It's not something that everybody's talking about on YouTube and whatnot. All right, and then the next set of money you're going to want to do is 10% in a solid dividend company. You want to make sure that you're getting your dividends and that's helping you grow your account, even though you're not necessarily all into dividend accounts. After you've grown your account past $2,000, the next real step is $10,000, and you're going to need to get into growth companies. You're going to need to slightly step away from the dividends. But you should always keep about 10% of your money in good dividend companies, because you never know when you're going to need those dividends to keep rolling in and helping you out. So we've covered 30%, 20%, and then another 10% in your favorite stock, 10% in a dividend stock. 10% is going to go into something speculative. I'll go over what that is in a little bit. 10% will be in cash, and then the last 10% we're going to split that up into 5 and 5%. So you're going to have that $500 split right there. So my recommendations. So for your first $3,000 position, build it into something amazing. Start with maybe Apple, go with Microsoft, go with Tesla. These companies are solid. They're going to do good. They're going to help you out. Microsoft and Apple give you dividends, but they're not really meant to be dividend plays. They're growth companies. Your second position, I recommend you go with something like maybe Facebook or Google or AMD, maybe Nvidia or Netflix. Whatever you like, it's a good position, it's a good company. You're not going to go wrong with your one of those as your second position. Next is your favorite stock. It's not something that everybody on YouTube's talking about. It's not something that gets a whole lot of media coverage. I like Domino's, for example. That's a good stock. Chipotle is a good stock. Maybe something like Uber or Spotify or Square. Maybe Cheesecake Factory or Qualcomm. I used to drive a truck. All of those electronic logs were on Qualcomm machines. And then maybe you're even looking at Starbucks because you're a Starbucks fan. That's a good dividend play too. All right. Next up, that was 10% of your portfolio. So you did 30% in, let's call it Apple. You did 20% in, let's call it Facebook or Google. 20% in Google is like 2 shares. That's fine. You could do that. And then, so you did 10% in your favorite stock. Now you're going to go for a solid dividend company. I really don't personally love any of these companies, but I do recommend that you do have something like this in your account. I have another favorite dividend company that I'm with, and it's not one of these, but you'll have to subscribe to see what that is. It's probably coming up real soon after this. So you want to put 10% into AT&T, into Verizon, into maybe like a Coca-Cola. Those are solid dividend companies. They don't go up too much. They don't go down too much. If you look at them from this year, April, March, when they were supposed to be catastrophically crashing, they didn't crash. They did pretty good. They're in a good position for whatever is going on. Next, you're gonna come to your cash. Basically, you don't want to have a cash position between $2,000 and $10,000. Every time you fund the account with new money, you want to put it towards one of these stocks that you're into. You want to just buy a little bit more Apple. You want to buy a little bit more, maybe Netflix. You want to buy a little bit more Chipotle, maybe a little bit more Domino's. You want to buy up to $1,000 of AT&T or Verizon. Maybe you're building that later. And then let's go back into the number one position. So when you're building your number one position up to a $10,000 portfolio, you're gonna have your number one position at $3,000. What I recommend is you build it up to $2,500, and then what you're gonna do with that other $500 is you're gonna wait. Yeah, you're gonna learn patience. You're gonna wait, and you're gonna see if that stock dips. When it dips, then you're gonna add more. You're gonna look for a point that's below your current cost basis. When you're building a new portfolio, you're not gonna get the best price cost basis. So that's why you're gonna look for a dip, and you're gonna lower your average cost. That's the way it's done. You're gonna do the same for your $2,000 position, your second favorite position, your 20% position. You might put in $1,500 and keep $500 on the side and add to it when it dips. And they're always gonna dip. That's how the market works, they dip. Your dividend, you might wanna build that up all the way and just leave it. You're fine. Don't sell it, don't add to it, just leave it at $1,000. Once you get to 20,000, you might wanna add another 1,000 to it. The next position is your $1,000 cash. As I said, you're pretty much gonna be funding your account all the time. So as soon as you reach your $1,000, you're probably gonna be putting that into somewhere. You're gonna sneak it in. It's hard to keep cash on the side when you're under $10,000. So don't worry about keeping cash on the side. That's not really too important to you. Next thing is we're gonna go into your speculative stocks. So what is a speculative stock? Some people might have you believe that a speculative stock is not. Well, let's just go ahead and see what some of these names are that come up as a speculative stock, in my opinion. And what you want to do with this last $500 in your speculative stocks is I would break that up into two $250 positions, or three $100 positions, or four 5 $100 positions. I wouldn't necessarily have all of that deployed at once. You might have it into 3 specs, and then if they dip, you put the other 200 in, you lower your cost average. That's the one you're going to be paying the most attention to. We're looking at speculative. Jeremy talks about some of these stocks. They're pretty good. I can't say they're bad. I can't even say they're necessarily specs, but something that I would consider a spec would be maybe like a Revolve, maybe a Work, or that's Slack, maybe IPOB, that's Open Door, that's going that SPAC route, that reverse merger, maybe Stitch Fix. As much as Jeremy thinks that's a good growth company, he might be right, but it's not something in a $10,000 portfolio that you would want to put too much into, because you don't know when that's going to pay off. It's not going to be tomorrow. It's not worth you losing out on Apple, losing out on Tesla, losing out on Facebook, Netflix, Nvidia, AMD, to go ahead and hold on to Stitch Fix. I don't recommend Dropbox. Don't get it. I think that's a $20 stock. That's going to be a $20 stock. Yeah, it's going to get customers. Yeah, it's going to make money. But by the time that doubles, maybe your Amazon, maybe your Apple, maybe your Netflix has gone up even higher than that one. I really don't see a super path forward for that one. So you might even go for something like a Lemonade, maybe like a Workhorse, or maybe like a Helion. That was at SHLL. It's down a lot right now. I have a good feeling that these companies are going to continue to go down in the short term before they go back up, seeing as to what's happening with the government right now and President of the United States. So that's $500. You still have $500 and you have $1,000 reserve in cash. So that last $500, what I want you to do is actually start to get into options. What you want to do is one stock option, and what you want to do is not pick from your number 1 position or your number 2 position. What you want to do is your number 3 position, your speculative positions. If you see something crazy happen, like absolutely out of this world, what you want to do is you want to get into that and buy one contract. Say, oh, this stock fell too much today. I don't have enough money to buy a lot of shares today. Let me buy an option real quick. I'm sure this was an overreaction that's going to come back. That's how you do your options. You don't do it for the next day. You go as far out as possible so that you can afford it. You want to stay under $500. All right. You want to buy out of the money call options. Let's say you got a stock. Let's say that stock is Dropbox. It's a $20 stock. If you're going to do an option call on that, what I would do is the $30 call. If it's supposed to go up, then let it go up. The $30 call option in maybe 2022, June or September, that should be something that's very affordable. That's not something that's going to be out of reach. You should be able to do that if you believe in that. I'm not recommending Dropbox. I don't like Dropbox. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying if you want to look into that, you can do that. For me, myself personally, my spec right now is, well, one of my specs, I have more than $10,000, is Nordstrom. I have 2 contract options. I'm going to sell one and I'm going to lower my cost basis. I'm going to take a little bit of profit and I'm going to let the single contract ride to maybe 5x the money that I put into it, or maybe 10x, because I'm only going to be invested $200 out of a $800 position when I cash out $600 worth. So your spec plays are going to be your biggest roller coasters. They're going to make the biggest changes on your account, beginning, middle, end. That's what you're going to be having your joy and your anxiety from. When those accounts go down, you really feel it. It's okay if you lose $500. If you're adding $100 a month, it'll take you 5 months to replenish it, but I don't think you'll lose $500 all at once. It's not very easy to do that. In a contract, yeah, it's a good chance it can go worthless, but what you want to do is be confident in the position. Let's say everybody in the world is enjoying Dropbox right now, correct? Let's say all of a sudden tomorrow Dropbox drops down to $10. Guess what? The $20 Dropbox call, very affordable right now. You do not have to get into the $30 one. All right, that's how you do that. If all of a sudden Dropbox drops down to $10, you buy the $20 call option, it shoots back up to 20. It was a fluke, something happened, it wasn't meant to be like that. And then all of a sudden you're cashing in on 100 shares when you weren't able to buy 100 shares as a spec play to begin with. That's how you do an option. I'm trying this new channel. Everything's new. I'm standing up. I'm looking at my monitor. It's a camera. I just tried the timer. I finally figured it out. The room is getting warm. Let me know how you like me standing up. Let me know if I sound like I have more energy. Let me know if this video is good. Let me know if you agree or disagree with what I'm saying. After $2,000, you want to get out of the ETFs. You can keep your third position in an ETF, 10% of your money into an ETF, until you find a favorite stock that's going to outperform that ETF. All right? You don't want to be in that ETF forever. There's too many people that are not paying attention. They're keeping their money in an ETF and it does not perform. I made a video about VYM, Vanguard's high yield dividend fund. A bunch of those companies are not going to be performing. It's down, it's remained down, and it hasn't recovered because it's not a performing company. It's gas stations, which aren't doing all that good right now. It's gas producers like gasoline, refiners and stuff. It's cigarette companies. As far as I know, the trend in the world isn't going towards more smoking. It's not. So you don't want to be in that ETF for a long time. For example, I might have a position in ARK, ARKK. I like that, but that one is a volatile ETF. It has a lot of up and downs. What you want to do is wait for it to come down. But that's not so easy because ARKK has both Square, which is a really good stock. It goes up a lot because there's a lot of momentum pushing that one up. Or what you want to do is you want to be in ARKK because it has Tesla. And if Square goes down, then Tesla goes up. In any case, that ETF has a hard time to get pushed down. If you want, you could even do that as your initial $1,000, pushing it to $2,000. Once you have your $3,000 position in the stock market, you want to already get into your Apples, into your Teslas, into your Microsofts. You can keep your ETF, but you want to start building your number one position. Once you get to 4,000, 5,000, you want to build your number two position. Once you get to 6, 7, 8, at 8, maybe start building your number 3, your dividend position. Honestly, I would build a dividend position first because you're going to notice that dividend coming in and it's going to help your account grow a lot. And it's a stable stock. It doesn't go up and down. You might still be just wanting to see what's going on with the market. You don't want to be going up and down with it too much. If you buy Verizon, it's like a $60 stock. It might drop to 55. It might go up to 66, 65. But it's pretty much in that $60 range. If you want to buy AT&T, at one point it was up to 40, but right now it's like 30, maybe like 28, 27, maybe 33, but it's in that $30 range. It's not going to be bouncing around too much. So you're in a good position right there, and you want to be that. That's going to give you stability. You want to build that ETF maybe before your number 1 and number 2 position, but that's going to be up to you how you feel like you want to develop your account. But when you're at 10,000, you have your number 1 position, that's 30%, number 2 at 20%, number 3 is your favorite, that's not in the mainstream media, and you only put 10% into that. You keep 10% so you can keep funneling it into your 1, 2, and 3, 1, 2, and 3, 1, 2, and 3. And then you have your dividend portfolio, which is about $1,000, 10%. You don't want to make that too big because while you're at a $10,000 level, what you really need to do is try to get to your $20,000, $30,000 level, and the dividends just aren't going to get you there. They're not. You're going to want to give the dividends time, and you want to be patient with them. But if you go into the growth portfolio section, you're going to see your account hitting the $20,000, $30,000 range a lot quicker than waiting for those dividends. Just keep the dividends as a lesson to find out, oh, okay, yeah, this dude I watched on YouTube, he wasn't totally out of his mind maybe. Yeah, dividend is good. It's adding to my account. So instead of maybe me adding $100 a month, maybe I can add 95 because I'm getting $5 a month from dividends. But you don't want to really do that. You want to make it 105, not 95. That's, help yourself. That's all you're doing. You're just helping yourself. So the more the better. Anyway, guys, this is pretty much it. I'm trying this new thing, standing up for the video, looking directly at the camera, hopefully for most of it. I did have to look down at my computer. Please like, subscribe, comment, help me out, help me grow this channel. I'm really trying hard. This is a new situation for me. I'm doing whatever I can to make the best of this situation, and I think I can help you make the best of your situation too. I hope to see you guys soon. Thank you. Bye.